She has a plan, a secret mission filled by gratitude and affection. She chooses her mother's favorite breakfast. Delight Foods, House Sakoko, a harmonious blend of flavors crafted with care and devotion. The taste of tradition and comfort. In that moment, their connection deepens, a bond strengthened by a shared experience. Delight Foods, House Coco, a delicious breakfast made with care and love in just.
Hi there, my name is Calibos, the only boss with one S. Happy new month to all of you. Welcome to a month of new possibilities. Do you know why life has been made so easy? It's because of Tap Send. People, Tap Send is here to make your life easy if you want to transfer money to Ghana, if you want to transfer from USA, if you want to transfer from UK, Europe, Canada, a lot of places all to Ghana. And guess what? When it comes to Ghana, there's no e-levy charge. So, what are you waiting for? Download Tap Send on Google Play Store and App Store and be ready for exciting offers coming your way each time, every time on Tap Send.
Tap Send. Send more, spend less.
Young penny for baby say, if you are seeing her, will be ma, will be check. Why not HL? So we'll pay IT, who they 1 year, so we'll pay support. Slam Technology say your number one partner. Your office will US India, your office will Ghana, so your numbers need go on. So we should share IT classes, we share career coaching, we share support for business, cybersecurity. Free, na your partner. Your back here, wow. Slam Technologies, transformation with excellence. Free is here, baby,
living in Ghana, abroad, a first timer visiting Ghana, or a company wondering where to get quality service providers in Ghana for any job, then Ejumapa On Demand Services is here to assist you. Ejumapa On Demand Services connect requesters and service providers such as masons, plumbers, electricians, auto repairers, home and office cleaners, trash collectors, rent agents, spa attendants, roofers, beauticians, teachers, CCTV installers, and all artisans on one platform. Yes, one platform. Trust Ejumapa On Demand Services to sort you out any day, anywhere, and at any time. To download the app, please visit the App Store and Play Store or visit our website www.ejumapa.com.
About SVTV Africa, so thank God it's Friday. I hope say Obia hon you share live on SVTV Africa. You from DJ Nyame, you streaming live our YouTube channel SVTV Africa, your Facebook page SVTV Africa. So soon you be joining TikTok live SVTV Africa, making sure say I'll be joining, I'll be share link. We're very important. Unim say Fridays we are many lawyer wisdom, akaho wise man solicitors, many year program where I say, yeah, sure, the Akosu UK. Hey, Mata Day, UK in Sensem there. Yeah, the update in your Bremo, I'm over Kai 3 weeks ago. Now, lawyer started bomb Coco say, Adiebi, bo, Adiebi BC, Adiebi started. The movies, oh, right now, somebody, Mom, the Akoso. No more before, but now underground. To lawyer buy ya, or the catcher say, or bomb Coco, and yes, or the moon. Or Chemo say, I dear Nebano, I know what ding. Yanum for no, or my chassis. Intimacy, now following our update be a medibet bro. Say, I say, we muka, but ye chassis, kawa say, young steady, you look sharp. Then I'm say, I know following because I had the correct update, Bremo. Dear Kosubia, a bro. Send beya obey ashe. And one no enyama yesa wo here enyama obe hia boboti bobo yes all here na why enti ene me no lawyer wisdom aka last week ye ka kira mo say ye be bie line na atum na mo afre de ha obi a o problem bi a question bi a obesa obisa lawyer no ene obebisa no ene ye nkasa bebre Ye buyer may be active. Lawyer buyer ye intro we ya activate phone line no. A WhatsApp number. It is our WhatsApp number where I made to screen so no. Yes, service ana mani sisi ana minim say ye bie tuma ebe jame but keep calling. Ye bie tum sisi a ebe jame. Ti service our WhatsApp number mo UK. UK nkomo ene eba be di ene. O pass it through some difficulties near there. Bisa lawyer question be opesa obisa ni bisa no. Obe iwano. Enti mienko na mene lawyer wisdom akaho embedi nkomo wise man solicitors omo UK ni office ewo London Dawson Junction oh newo the print house and some printing papers printing papers but printing visa. Hey, lawyer wisdom akao champion man obinfo boko there.
Adumo nyameni obinfo no ye de adwumayefo.
Aha, mami fa TikTok nka we. Na TikTok for so ya na omunya information ni kakra. Nti
Send and then you see questions and answers
one time nti so you intro we na person me be phone line na me be phone line ni two man na so mo frɛ wa no because amount for ready. Amount for ready.
It's very interesting development. So
me the TikTok for na kan but yan ko TikTok dey ya na mo church ro mo kakra. Say me dey na ma ya to screen so dey. O me mo jalu. Mami just say me also be say no sound we say then. TikTok dey omo dey ya no foi. Lawyer, utie mi a internet na o ma ya ne yan sha ase.
DJ Mejo so who ye there?
Nyame adom me ho ye pa sese na wohwe me ho se vim yai me ho ye pa nti then I work update net saying what's the update currently the ekoko about this fie kesim ade omu ye ni ade update be na aba ansa na me biem na amanfo afro
see etie for ye obia ye gidi se obia ho ye nyame ade nyame edi 1 week asaka ye mfie ho eda erade ase odi akaye na ho. Last week yakasa about changes ever this UK, because they don't have any written constitution in it. Almost sorry anytime almost parliament na emrabi eba and as a bibi omutum na so omunya vote na e perfect na aye mra no and amumra it misses just like that. And this written constitution I feel you need some 2/3 majority, you need this and that almost misses at any time. It's unwritten constitution. And here kasa about some changes but in fact some proposals coming bad enough a year for 82 unbeknown to us and not at the end of na ebi abeshishem dida. Now say oh krom ha na when you indefinite if you would visit this and the buy but now krom for some time eventually when you indefinite leave to remain. Now the next thing will be a person origin British citizenship. Bibi or high friend good character requirements. Good character requirement nature is you have to meet certain things that would confirm or project you as a person who has a good character. In other words, you are not going to become a problem for this country, but you have a good character and you rather end up contributing positively to the country in terms of morals and character-wise. And there are different things. One, the residential requirement is expected that you would have resided or lived in the UK for some number of years or some number of days after you go to indefinite leave, or 5 years for you to become a British citizen after you've gotten your indefinite leave. Then it's also expected, say if you're married to a British citizen, then that comes under Section 6, Schedule 1(2) of the British Nationality Act of 1981. For you to prove that you meet the residential requirement. If you honor, there is a requirement, so you meet the English language requirement, and also you have sufficient knowledge in the English language. You can speak, you can speaking and listening into a requirement. It all comes under the good character requirement. And if you are, we have the life in the UK requirement. Sometimes people who have of course, if you have a fine, if you have driving offense, if you have speeding offense, you have driving without insurance, all these things form parts of the good character requirement. Now, sometimes it depends on the offense. If it is a one-off offense, they overlook it. But if it is repetitive, just idea, that's your character. If that is what it is, then of course that will go to affect your application for British citizenship. Now, in this case, what happens is that because of the influx of almost small boats, Home Office, government, Ashada, and Oya and Society on pages 50 and page 51 of the Good Character Guidance. And that took effect from the 10th and I 14. So on the 4 days ago, and a change you see ever. This country, the laws keep changing almost every time. Last Friday, these changes hadn't come. 4 days ago, the changes have come. Who knows what is going to come on Monday? Who knows what is going to come on Tuesday? Who knows what is going to come in a week's time? The laws keep changing. So what are the changes that they've introduced into the good character requirement? I'll read it out. Number one, C. A person applying for citizenship from the 10th of February 2025 who previously entered the UK illegally will normally be refused. A person applying for citizenship from the 10th of February 2025 who previously entered the UK illegally will normally be refused. I say, Udi, Udi boat. Now say na boat na baba. Udi train. What are train being from France and Udi about UK and now for Germany and now for Holland and now the coach be Eddie Baye and now the Obi Udi backroom ha. And you have no point of entry. You have no entry. No, you are deemed as a person who entered the UK illegally. In that case, almost say from the 10th of February 2025, your application before British citizenship, you will normally be refused. So, 10th February 2025, applicants who entered the UK illegally will normally be refused. And it says, regardless of the time that has passed since the illegal entry took place. So even if you entered illegally 20 years ago, 30 years ago, they don't care. You will be refused British citizenship. It only means that you will remain on your indefinite leave forever. You will not become a British citizen. So that is the change that took place 4 days ago. The next one, say, any person applying for citizenship before the 10th of February, that is, people who have already got the application in the Home Office for British citizenship, where illegal entry is a factor, will continue to have their application reviewed. And the Saudiana Kodem Didao, Nasa Uno Uni entry, Ufa Kweti Kwansu, Ufa Kwanfufrubisu, and Audibaye, Uni entry. What they are saying is it will be reviewed. No you say so it says any person applying for citizenship before the 10th where illegal entry is a factor. In other words, any person who has already applied before the 10th and illegal entry is a factor, then you will continue to have your application reviewed to determine whether that immigration breach should be disregarded for the purpose of character assessment. And before the 10th of February, decision MIA. Almost they'll review it. Actually, say illegal entry now would buy if it should affect you or it should not affect you. That is the next thing. Another very important one here, say a person who applies for citizenship from the 10th of February who has previously arrived without a required valid entry clearance or electronic travel authorization, having made a dangerous journey, will normally be refused citizenship. So, my message is a person who applies for citizenship from the 10th of February who has previously arrived without a required valid entry clearance. Again, people who entered illegally. Nti obi ba bisa sɛ na yɛn a yɛde visit visa baeɛ a yɛankɔ nso ɛ. Well, we will go down to that and see. So a person who applies for citizenship from the 10th of February 2025 who has previously arrived without a required valid entry clearance or electronic travel authorization, having made a dangerous journey, would normally be refused citizenship. Now, and then I'm also defining what is a dangerous journey. In other words, if you enter the UK and you made application after the 10th of February 2025 and you engaged in a dangerous journey or you came by a dangerous journey, your application will be refused. So this is a dangerous journey. What is a dangerous journey? It includes but not limited to. Now, if they use the word not limited to, it means they can use anything to say it is a dangerous journey. Anything can be a dangerous journey. Now, so, one, traveling by small boats. Traveling by small boats is one, that is a dangerous journey. Two, concealed in a vehicle is a dangerous journey. The younger yedi van, edi or we hid in some part of a vehicle you entered, that is a dangerous journey. Or conveyance, something that carried you to this country is a vehicle. I heard of somebody who traveled from France. He was stuck between a train, the two carriages. Somehow he was able to come all the way to this country. I believe people have conducted or engaged in such dangerous journeys. So the Home Office is saying, if you came with a boat, small boats, that is a dangerous journey. I don't know about the big boats, but small boats is a dangerous journey. Concealed in a vehicle is a dangerous journey. Or conveyance is a dangerous journey. It does not include, for example, people who arrived as a passenger with a commercial airline. So if Udi visa and a buyer, that is not deemed as a dangerous journey. And in that case, if you make an application, it is possible that your citizenship application may be successful. In the absence of all other factors that can go against you, your application may be successful. But anybody who engages or engaged in a dangerous journey and you had no point of entry and you have your indefinite and you make an application for your British citizenship from the 10th of February, your application will be refused. Into Ukra indefinite, but you will not become a British citizen. So this is what it is in terms of the changes are taking place. In fact, Kemi Badnoff proposed, said, normally, say Obi Eba with a spouse visa or the 2.5 years na Eba. After 2.5 years, when you another 2.5 years, now a total of 5 years. Or no say Yampanko 10 years. Then when you indefinitely we are say it's supposed to be 1 year on top of the indefinite, making it either 11 years or 6 years. If you're not married to a British citizen, not what could you British citizenship. So say honestly 5 years. So instead of 5 years plus 1 year to get your citizenship, she's proposing that they make it 15 years before you get your citizenship. Now, these are the things that are brewing underneath But this is what has come into effect right now. Dangerous journeys want to be discouraged. The small boats wants to be discouraged. It wants to serve as a deterrent. And to you will not get a British citizenship because of the danger in which you engage. So, my brother, it is a serious deal. To say last week, it's like every country is trying to tighten. Everybody is tightening everything. It's becoming more and more difficult, just difficult to come and live in this country illegally. And to Uba, please come legally. The illegal journeys are not worth it. Wait, almost a citizenship. It is even possible. I can't to indefinite. So, almost the indefinite. And it's every 2.5 years. Uber renew. What chase cars till that kingdom come? Because every 2.5 years you have to renew. Every 2.5 years you have to renew. You may have to renew for maybe 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, because you would never get indefinite and you may never get citizenship. Right now, it is about citizenship, but we never know when they will change the rules to affect indefinite as well. So, DJ, it is a platform for us to tell the people that this is what is going on, and we have to be fully aware of it before we go forward.
Medate, following the especially on YouTube your pages no. Updated. Updated because me kaya 3 weeks ago near break is boy.
You're right.
I feel say but following no they know. But Osha ye move I de call do na ye de by UK hono. Ye de na dangerous way ni encounter. Osha ye India ye de visa and ye the trip mu ni de ba. Do Ghana for do na. But sisi the way anyama si call I mean this answer na be phone line no. TikTok there munim say you stream live or a YouTube page. TikTok for mo betimi join here or YouTube page because enche me call me the number be two screens super TikTok ubo say omo ye ho nwi ye ba be betimi ni lawyer kasa be bisa the question o UK o pass it through anyway bia na me the number be two screen so ube bisa lawyer me nim say man for be I stand by because he announced last week say ask lawyer question be opese obisa nti lawyer unsuo no ye ni bebre why na na de obekasa pa Minister for baby I alert. Into share or TikToker. I mean yanka me TikTok na gina so sa ba ya na all the number two screens so no more almost style bisa app no. Enti me show na man ba me enche me call up from TikTok by live or YouTube SVTV Africa and you streaming live so a Facebook page SVTV Africa. Ba lawyer ade aye kai ma me bisa o adwen kire kakra o. Na je say nyama e koso UK sisi anu me the visitors visa ba na my imagine say me tire ma me forget ya na.
First of all, sir, all the visitors visa. The intention is that oh, Baba Sra now sign up.
And to
say, no one, what by overstay. We have illegal entry and then we have overstaying. These are two different things. Illegal entry, small boat for now. Chinese that is illegal entry. Legal entry is a wage visa. Waba, what's the one call? So one qua waba an overstayer. And if you overstay, never be why you can't do GP, bank, untimim be a GP, untimim be a bank. Okay, you can't have a bank account, you can't have a driving license, you cannot rent a house, a room, any property, you cannot work. These are things that will limit you. So then what you have to do is and then you have to seek legal advice. Example, you cannot change from a visitor to a student. You can't change from a visitor to a work route, that is health and care, skilled labor. You can't change from a visitor to a charity worker. You can't. You cannot change from a visitor to minister of religion. It's not possible. But waba wasitna lewu na se when your family were her And when I say family, I mean say, hey, be a wababy show above, come be, and Obama come be, no wouldn't know, I will buy. So, Ubano Ekra and Krum Hakrata, that has changed the dynamics for you. So, saying, we have family life based on Wubanunti, to me, application. As we speak, that law hasn't changed. And in that case, you are able to make application. But, so what ba, and I will ba, what you visa, uba, no, why you say won't call, once won't worry, once won't uba, just a wooden amusa. To say, I can say, you have to be here for 20 years. Who knows? It may go to 25 years. It may change to 30 years as a deterrent to stop people from coming to overstay. You can never really tell. So, legally, as a student, go school, no? As an employee, as a spouse, in that case, you don't have a problem. But if wife in the job, that's a different thing. So say Krano, it is so difficult. So about job because employer be visa for share code, obiase share code. It's difficult. It's difficult. And I don't think it's gonna get any easier. It's not gonna get lighter. So I would advise that then look for the right way to come legally to stay rather than somebody visit visa paper. Now I bet some.
Your problem ni bebre sisi ane ye oyema ye di COS ba ya ye can say ye me ye sure say me be phone line tuma ene de sa course na be ba pa ene de COS for na ye twa omunya memu yi company lances ni ade a headache enti so lawyer we wie dia me ye time ni enti me phone line na amount for start say omo free into ask lawyer or UK or pass it through any difficulties be and so here advice be ni ade make asem the lawyer and na ye or buy no update no the abramonti me ba be line atum na mo free TikTok for mbetimi ahwe o YouTube ko a profile page no so SVTV Africa link ni da ho ko a profile page o hwe o TikToker make off from TikTok because number na me ba to screen so no ya no phone no e ya na ha adwen enti mo na man that screen so mo save screenshot o hwe o TikToker screenshot o screenshot ya o save ya obetimi adjoin e obetimi afre na on lawyer kasa o ko through bibi challenges bi mo ni ade a TikTok for na make enti me ba be call off from TikTok enti ma be bie number na tum na che say mafre na mo ne lawyer edi nkomo enti sisi ami activate calls ma activate enti mo betimi afre +2332406778898 who questions bi opese obisa lawyer obetimi ebisa lawyer who questions bi opese obisa lawyer obetimi ebisa lawyer TikTok for no mo join here YouTube SVTV Africa yenko lawyer wisdom akao twemo wise man solicitors yenko na imunkoti lawyer so offer me katia metimi afro back hello me pacho oba mami yes ade we answer na wa frame me o frame me bia na o hwe me o TV so a mute o volume no low TV voice be my feedback e be delay enti say o frame me a o hwe me o TV so a mute volume no low no cra na kasa with your phone as be my feedback and e be delay o kasa no
hello good evening DJ
good evening pacho lawyer at you
lawyer good evening lawyer good evening
evening ma'am
me skilled visa and a bar chrome has say now me de me family abaha by 5 years time now me file for indefinite no na nkra no mo bro 18 years enti me kwato me busa say sa no metumi ne oma file aboma na
okay yes would the family abaha
me company me di omo bae no mo ni ejuma enti me ye switch e de kwa another one so and I me ye another VRP foforo or new company ni so na me ma mienu a me di omo bae no omo wo so but me ma two a omo bae no wo me previous company ni so enti no omo catch me current employer ne catch me say me trying say 5 years ni do na me file for indefinite na me for the other two no embra me current one ni so me pacha no so me padwin che wo ho
Yo, yeah, that's it.
me that's
Yo, number one. Say, Udi Emofraba from her. Time now with you, now under 18. Then, by the time I will do for indefinite, no more than 18. As long as Amudasonewu ete, they are still dependent on you. In that case, they are still your children. They are dependent on you. They are not living independent life. They haven't moved out of home. You are still caring for them. They will also be eligible for the indefinite leave just as you. But when they move out, living their own separate life, you are no longer responsible for them, they are living their independent life, then they cannot be dependent on you, or you cannot be dependent on them if the initial one was there, based on them. So yes, so Omobru 18 poor relationship requirements, it is okay. They should remain with you, the same address. You can be putting 20 pounds, 10 pounds in their account, which shows that they are still your kids and they are dependent on you, even if they've gone past 18 years. It is not a problem. Can you just imagine if the law says, oh, when you're 18 years, they can't depend on you or they should go back home? It's going to be a disaster. So the law protects such children because at the time they entered, they were under 18 and they are still dependent on you. So that is that. Number two, with the skilled worker, once you switch, I always insist that you switch with.
Brofo no ya doso braye di num kakra te so brofo no ya doso nti ma yesrewa ma yetwi ni kakra wai
Mate, yo, and to my main caba near me no, so woman, under 18, and I would do a buy and sana eventually almost a 18 say no, uno, DJ Pacho, mommy one commercial, one commercial. I need to.
Okay, so once I hear train lawyer wisdom akaho wise man solicitors no number na e was screen to save who save ya wetimi afre no na o question bi chiri wadwens no be so obisa na obetimi ebisa no omo UK especially obetimi afre no na also the obebisa no webisa nti once I hear train lawyer na number na was screen so me use comment section so no mo comments be bra ba obetimi afre the old type wo bebre no obetimi afre na why in brief enkasa because line no nkofo bebre wo problem nkofo bebre wo problem amo pe solution ti oba no why ni titi so lawyer why ready etie one sana next college line
That's it. So yes, so what switch here? Any woman no nina misro mon switch. Why? Dependency is a continuous thing. Se wo ne wo ma mienu ewo old COS no so. So say one move it to a new COS, they also have to switch with you. It's like a tree. That is an example I always give. As you say, the branches will have to move with the tree. If the branches will have to survive, they have to be connected to the tree with the same root. The root no your sponsor no. The stem no your the branches no your emofrano. So if you have moved your root, which is the sponsor, the stem, and the branches will all have to move. Why yama emofran me no na niama can so misro switch them. And yes, sir, over time 5 years never so. SSS would you indefinite no. When you are switching up benya na near almost our sponsorship no so no, or you'll have a difficulty. My advice is switch all of them to be on the same COS. Thank you.
okay next call I hit you.
Yeah, my question I'm basically maybe say make it a refugee status. Refugee status, you know, what am I no documents
Hello What mute you want? Hello? Hello, Mbacho, check your phone. What mute you want? Hello? Hello? O phone
And
mute. Mbacho, o phone mute anti the okano. Was I mute biom? Yeah. Okay. I'm missing another person. Beba na ya picking no. So na man that screen so no say o person obisa lawyer question bia obetimi ebisa no na they are hot no o mess ya mess o dia obenya bio na che. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Me ba cho yetie o. Hello.
Me Pacho, good evening.
Me ba cho lower TV na ebe delay o. Esa me ka hello na fe na no so drag o. Lower volume no o TV ni so kra
Okay.
ansa wakasa.
Me Pacho Mate, Mama Dumno.
Lawyer tio.
Me Pacho lawyer. Me dem me wo Dubai, but me nya tifa na wo ho. Obi na be ware no de ne koy. Na
okay.
okodru ye no nipa no akwa ware broni foforo. Omo ye ne 5 feet. Ase sia no ba bia be ma no wo no kwa no me nwa no onim. Oye adwuma onyanya adwuma onyanya sponsorship adwuma a oye ne ye say ase ote part-time bia na okọ ote part-time bia na okọ but omo you know we abeso this ending of this month ana mi bisa say sia no dia na onye be ma no onim ba bia be ma na fa but be ma no testing the message last year say wo kwa kware broni wanya broni a ọware no na broni ni nso asisi ne se onkasa menua no ho bio okasa menua no ho obema ya chi notum medase
Unuane yoba home. Unuane yoba.
Lawyer oko inti
Okay.
answer man.
Let's assume say unuane yoba ena obi akọware no edi na aba krom ha. Ena nipa na odi ne ba krom ha no say ono osi akọware onya obroni onpe obi beni bi onti akọware obroni. Unfortunately, me nim say a sponsorship and I'm Dubai and I spouse visa and or Dubai. So your spouse visa, then there is no way I obey me akọware before say oni uniano enjoy so oni uniana obai so munya go aware na and they want to me ankọware obi foforo. This is our nego and sana or to me aware obi foforo. You have to be free from any subsisting relationship before you can marry another person. That is one. Number two, say, or any evidence of domestic abuse, domestic violence, ABR, or evidence, say, na ayakayaka DB air koso, and GP is aware, GP has given some reports. The friend is saying the police are also aware, and maybe possibly the Black Sisters are aware, and not any organization that supports people of from domestic abuse. Hey, we're now more evidence now. So relationship now break it down poor or to meet NASA evidence no so an application. But if there is no such evidence of domestic abuse, number one. Number two, there is no marriage, the marriage is not broken down, then clearly on to me application, even though the marriage is still subsisting, on to me application for further extension because answer no application as a set or jitney kununu niamano answer no it's me application passport, marriage certificate, 6 months pay slip, 6 months bank statement, tenancy agreement, evidence of relationship, gas, water, electricity, telephone bills, etc., etc. If you don't have these things, any possible self-me application without other extenuating factors or other additional evidence to send it's unfortunate that this thing is happening, but me afraid later. No ma bisa more questions. Only an hour fire number mano, mount fret, na yembisa on one kasa questions. Me jidisa on more information about media mind. Avia wono you may not be aware of. Yes, thank you.
Hello, boss, you.
Hello, DJ Nyame.
Lawyer tio.
Baso, so ya so baso. Na a question say, bisa lawyer mami, ya wo stepfather route and patch or say ania lawyer and teacher muka sena esitie achomedase.
Okay, lawyer, so what's the question now? Obisani dia na the line.
Or say, or besides, there was stepfather route and a route and yes. So we'll share the immigration rules now. Your appendix FM. The FM stands for family route, and your EX1 appendix FM section LTRPT, and your parents and your P and your partner. Appendix FM section LTRP, a partner. Partner nature is a worry will be fulfilled. In other words, your bema and our worry oba. Obanansu e woba. Ana or mufra and kwada no ye under 18 years old. And the wono wabaye and kwadano step father. You are involved in their lives. Would you go school? Who go form of school? GP. Wouldn't wo set woni afraid step dad and possibly emergency contact. Say almost share on mamena only wuna yefro. You are involved in their lives. Or evidence I will feel say woni mame mote. Either somewhat not 2 years. Or evidence over the 2 years. And now say more worry. And also GEN 1.2 defines who is a partner. If that is the case, over here, I'm offering the birth certificate, their passport copies, letter from the school or GP, and other supporting documents. My many pay slips, bank statements, tenancy agreements, not with the way now, and the account or proof of address, or address for pictures, and all the other supporting documents. With the one with the application now, you will be given the 2.5 years as a partner on the 10-year route. But of course, it is only because I'm offering a woman. Say, as in a student, or Baha as a student, Nani Bisaning we, and I will share obi, on in a worry, and no, say, or her as a valid student, a genuine student, Nibisaning we, whether there is a child involved or not, and there's a genuine relationship, that does not need a child or a stepchild. But if the visa expires, then there's the need for a child to be involved. And yes, sir, just a Uko Ghana, the application of sign up under Appendix FM section EC-P as a partner and sign up UK.
Hello?
Hello?
But lawyer, tell why?
Lawyer, we need DJ Michiamo.
Yeah, Joso.
But you, lawyer, British child there's 7 months now. Person me didn't call Ghana could 3 years. And I'm able to say na SMA and I meet him there. Na kosa there na SMA and I'm the nako.
Well, sir, of course, Upeso di Ubano or British passport, Upeso di Nekwa. I would advise, sir, make sure, sir, all the immunization that the child will have to take, the pioneer and the checkups, make sure those have all been done. And of course, of course, I don't know, you have to notify the GP that with the it helps so that they don't keep calling you to bring the child for checkup. The time is up for this and that. I don't think it's a problem, provided who are find a British passport amano. It's normally for 5 years, so you can always come back and sign the passport now. So just make sure you do what you have to do in terms of the medicals and inform the necessary authorities now. Sana with the Abu Faber call. 3 years time. I was signed in. I'll back to the UK.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Evening.
Yo, me pacho yo lawyer me chiao. Me pese me bisa se me neme makofa me here e wo kum ha UK ha. Wo kuta 2.5. Na 2.5 na ye ma wo Ghana. Me kuta British book. Se in terms of maintenance yeah, me no bani kabu makofa nkwala na ba. Eye ma sitina ben ye de be mankwala. Eye obani 2.5 nya me aye kabu na na se me de be mankwala no indefinite. Eye etanese. Ye be mo indefinite. Na so mbe mo obani, mbe ma no obani.
Very good. Mr. Wait there, Mr. Janasuma, men come and be some question and son with just 1 or 2 questions. And my friend, one mamma mana, and I won't qua woman, and not on one man. Okay, good. Thank you. So say there, I can continue. Normally, this is what happens. Se oye application Emma Emofrani enkwa se unkwa na wo share wo na omo mame enka ho a eno enka ebeba under paragraph 297 of the immigration rules. Yebema Emofrani indefinite leave to enter. Mame sisubium. Tam na omo nyina wo Ghana. Na wo nkwa na wo hwe Emofra no na omo mame de o bibi fufro ane Emofra no enye ene kitahunde bia. And na wo nkwa na wo application ma Emofra no se wo nkwa na wo hwe o ma sa application no wo be no under paragraph 297 of the immigration rules. Yebema Emofra no indefinite leave to enter. But se omo mame abeka wo ho ewa ha na Emofra no so eba nia omo mame ewo no eno ene yede be ma Emofra no yemfa wo de na wo no British citizenship no emma Emofra no no ana indefinite na wo no yemfa ma Emofra no yebe ma wom nia omo mame ewo. Sa application is not under 297. It is under appendix FM section EC-C. It's a totally different rule. And this all mame wa ha only o mame nete o mame o 2.5 years near yedi be ma Emofra no near o mame ewo not near wo se wo nkwa na wo ha na wo nkwa na wo di Emofra ne ba na o mame nka ho a enka ye be ma wom indefinite leave to enter. Nipa bebre enim enti na mo di Emofra na ba based on an o mame na ba first na Emofra na ba e ba ni sa se mame ni ko renew a e so di Emofra ne ka. And to send Baku to 3,845 pounds and 50p, you have to multiply that by 3 people or 4 people and 5 people. So that is the rule. It depends on the situation of the other parent in the UK. And no, and the better say, to indefinite so and number 2.5 years. Thank you.
Hello, Mbato, loyalty.
Mpacho, good evening.
Good evening.
Mpacho, me kunu na buy the school na buy UK. The school na well. Now mo mama, date no mo de mama no. Expired 31st of last month. That was January no. But me share code na still eba. And I'm media yeah.
Ukuno oko school na wanko school na.
Hello.
Lawyer bisa.
Ukuno oko school na wanko. Oko school na wanko school no.
But your school no okodu baby no jaye by the family were hunting also chiako EU nibi application.
Okay. So and university na home office for who say wanko school na.
Lawyer bisa question.
So university no na me bisa say university no e catch home office for say one trust school no so ana.
I know. Okachon by his your mama ne niama utimi the year juma because of say an application an application ne damuno.
Now student visa ne there say one co school na home of university no will inform the home office papa we buy in one co school until the home office may cancel the student visa no. So or no as we check their call new route ne so or application or one is COS COA, certificate of application, not COS. These things are confusing. COA or the area juma and Teresa omo dia sitting on money yet. Se omo the money eventually wo no wo se wo da so nya share code at the ejuma. Well, it can mean two things. It can mean that Home Office have not updated their system even if the student visa has been cancelled, or it can mean that they haven't even cancelled it yet. Eventually, it will come down home, set your cancel and now you're revoking. A band is an answer on 5 years, ne man so a bet to me anya 5 years. Wono say mofanya 5 years. I don't know if you have children involved. If the children get their 5 years, who bet me application from outside the rules based on Mofrano. But say Mofran anymore, that puts Wono in a very difficult position. Because on one switch, I call you so, and also ultimate switch, you call you the so. Wono want to call you the so because extended family members are no longer under the EU rules. So wait and see what unknown outcome be. But as long as ultimate generate share code, my employer omoji tumuno, it means that wait to me to us employers here. All they want to see is a share code. And as long as they are satisfied, so who have the right to be in the country to work, they will carry on giving you work. So that is going to be my position on this. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello. Mepacho, mepese me hu say, so what the skilled visa and a buyer and I would do dependent gown. And mobile no marriage no and work it out. Mutimi ejai before answer na mo let home office na say unless so let home office na sana home baby amoya aware no makotwitwa mu wo ho.
Well, it doesn't make a difference. So relationship now break it down now. A bit me my home office for us to say your relationship now I break it down until I say in Yejuma. Home office I bet the other party na manati as yes relationship now break it down. One man is 60 days unpacking in Yama MV from uncle. And she said, wow, who and I will send you an email and I want you they will take action. That is even though Mudasuya worry for divorce in my but watch your home office, they will take action. The second part, they say, our any good now a divorce certificate, and also with me for home office, a natural one, and now any online, at the moment who say relationship no, it's not over, and also they'll still take action. So either way, the home office will take action, whether the relationship is broken without a divorce, or eventually there is a divorce, home office will still take action with regards to Nipa Nasitna. So a choice is yours.
Good evening, Pacho Lawyer Tio.
Good evening, lawyer. Pacho, my question is near me, Bako ye me kunu kita Spanish passport EU and I may Ghana, but also ba London, not Spanish no, Spain no, sorry. But then when ya oba ni indefinite leave no waha. Say miss me buy no, menya me 5 years no, ama menya me indefinite no. But me woba boy ono so May na why the 5 years navy. In say no obetimi qualify your British passport na. And
Okay,
second
as I said,
mekunu pesa according to dependents. She's more than 18. You try a first one, but then a home office for choice say they want the family tree. What shows say or your nay uncle? What's the connection? So what do we do in this case?
Okay, the first one first. Wubana, wawa krumha, wadi saying.
Hello.
How old is your child?
Lawyer
Banedi saying.
What you say?
Also,
Banedi saying.
Maybe no, this year being 12.
All right, sir. Who were indefinite? Nipa passport indefinite. Okay. So who were indefinite? Nipa passport were indefinite. Ubetimi indefinite amabo frana. Ansana wa register as a British citizen. Untimi go straight to the British citizenship. It has to be indefinite first before you go to the British citizenship.
My apply to say no, not all pre-settled. And 5 years, no, say I can't a few months into my apply for settled status number, into me trying for the
Okay. So
application to come.
settled.
They say no, I'm trying.
Okay. So settled status no eba na wanyani indefinite. Because abofrane yangun wo krom hante. Only registration as a British citizen, ebeba under section 3(1) of the British Nationality Act 1981. A discretionary, and compulsory, omu pair, and a omu divamano, omu pensua, omu famano. My advice, by you say onyani indefinite new year. Now we 1 year editor udianiswa. So wo koye citizenship. Fa ubano eka honamo mi no munya ni together. And yes, sir, ukoyema abofrane nkwa. It is very likely sir or betimi refuse this application. But when in the together, it gives the chance a stronger. It gives the chance. Gives the child a stronger chance. Sir, yedi ebemano. Section 3(1) British Nationality Act 1981. Abofrane yawun wo krom ha. A discretionary. Wo koye British. Now the nekanwa opposition a better, a stronger than say ukwakoyama abofrane pe. Enti wono ya 1 year fa so wodi so. Abofrane so indefinitely ba na ukoye wodi a wodi na kan wodi na ho na moye together for the British citizenship. Thank you.
Lawyer, yeah, picky calls now. Kind some of the comments in the Sonia.
All right. I see. Hi, lawyer. I was deported in 2015 for overstaying my visa in the UK. Can I apply now to come and study in the UK this year? 2015 till now is 10 years. Now, I think you were removed. Removal is different from deportation. Deportation normally committee criminal offense. Of course, overstaying the UK is a criminal offense anyway. But if you haven't been taken to court and convicted, then you can say you were removed. If you've been removed, school, the application to the school, if you have to do all that you have to do, you pay everything. Every application is considered on its own merit. Every application is considered on its own merit. If you meet all the requirements, you jump all the loops and go over all the hurdles, Mejidi said you will be fine with the student visa. But make sure that you meet all the requirements in terms of the financial and all the other things. Once you've not been deported and banned, then you can apply to come back in as a student. You will share based on your circumstance. Every application is based on its own merit. So you can go ahead. Yes?
Hello, Bacho Lawyer Tio.
Hello, Lion Pacho. Me wo UK hana. Me buy no. Masrise me company no money adwuma masrise. Pacho na me bisa wo say. Ehu nya sa me ba me ne ba ono so obesisi ana.
Pacho,
My name is why e-visa?
Yes, my name is Richie. Or Richie have the e-visa now why there. Our system no so and omoba update it with the new switch. My name is Richie because Obi beside a similar question a bit earlier. Na me manity as you say. The root no Abia only sponsor no company now the mobile that's the root. The stem no any wo maame no. The branch no any abofra no. And wo your root, which is a sponsor, has changed. You are now on a different route as the stem. You have to move with the branch, which is your child. Not unquanko create problem be in future. I will say no. Move with your child so that time is so for your indefinite. You all provide the same documentation. Now, example, assuming a company now or the mobile, one move to a different company. What if the first company you revoke your license now into operation view? So time this now go definitely bisa documents need from our company na no that is why it's advised that please move with your child or your children to the new company. Say Bibia, they can give it to you. Thank you.
Oh, so about your loyalty.
La, William, so me buy you came the COS ne buy. Na me buy na me company ni adwuma me.
COS for him also.
Yeah, na omo me company ni report say me ma home office say me nya adwuma me ho no ni adwuma me. Nti no eba ne sa no omo me 60 days. Within 60 days no me nya switch. Nti me way no cancel yeah. Nti later na omo me home office ma me letter say omo revoke me company me send new sponsor. Nti recently me nya sponsor. Me did 2 months so omo say I raise me application I raise concerns be I raise issues be kakranti no. Me nya but omo ma me decision. And I'm saying maybe so in case there be a new idea be about that.
Thank you. Me pacho was 60 days ne wie ya ansa na wonya sponsor na.
Me pacho and we cried within last year.
So that is the problem, because within that 60 days you are deemed legally. You are here legally. So 60 days you become an illegal person and not overstaying. You overstayed. And Ubia what overstaying so no. Want to me and switch it to the sponsorship route. So why application I'm in them until Home Office makes a decision, no one will be to take it next. But for now, why application almost it raises concerns and they want to do their investigation. Just allow them to do that, and then you get a decision, and that will help us to know which way to go from here. Okay. If it was within the 60 days, and any problem. But once it is after the 60 days, then that raises concerns. And that is why the Home Office is probably taking their time to do their own checks before they make a decision.
Lawyer, your sister will also want to answer the question, but could be into WhatsApp for you. Question here then.
I na me catch and say mekuma miknu epese or dependent mano, but or more than 18. And yeah, application first one, or de buy say what is the connection? One was a Ghana there, the castle me but no, we don't know how the services still lies and I want to find out is there any other way we can do it?
Yes. Who can EU national? Who a family member of the EU national?
EU national, yeah, okay, the Spanish passport.
What's it Ukuma DJ? What is which one is that? What relationship is that? Is that it? Is that it?
Mikunu she's more than 18.
Okay. Unfortunately,
yes.
Also from the 31st of December 2020, Anna UK a fee ye no. Now we have 2 types of family. We had the family members, that is wo kuno, wo ma, wo papa, wo mame, your grandparents, your grandchildren. That is all direct family members. And here were the extended family members. Wo nuya, wo brother, wo sister, your uncle, your auntie, your other relatives is all extended. From the day UK a fee ye no, they took off all the extended family members. Aka only family members. And say ukuma na or your sister-in-law, ukunu enyano, or you're part of the extended family members that have been chopped off. And say they're asking for relationship and all of that, the DNA and all, but eventually, unfortunately, on your family member, not or your extended family member, but that is no longer applicable. Unfortunately, that is the most likely results of Obenya. Then maybe over to me I explore those options, but not this extended family member route now. Yes.
Hello, Mbacho loyalty.
But me person lawyer say UK awale yeah.
Low out TV, who share TV so muting why? Am I a feedback? Volume no, low no.
Okay, my low no.
And now so then.
It be said UK you na yeah you must say our UK awale no eye adwuma.
Oh, mommy. Aware eye juma se eye aware krojing genuine and subsisting relationship. So aware no eye aware pa. Ekuno eyire nkomodi omuntam evidence wo ho WhatsApp messages, text messages, money transfer, visits, pictures. Nina chese ampa calls. Chese ampa genuine, and the word is genuine and continuing, subsisting relationship. So sanity and fahu whether nipani you ni ananipani a British citizen. Yes, mu warrior ubetimi ababeka ukunu ho ha. But of course, say ukunu no EU national near ebesini say because our real no after the Brexit ninety, how the UK mra ena ebeshe enye UK enye EU mra ena mo beshe because the date of our real the date of the marriage after Brexit enonti how the UK mra ena beshe hono na esese nipa na oba no or English language test level A1 or meeting the tuberculosis requirements. Set Nikruna Wahano or Yejumaji £29,000. Evidence of genuine and subsistent relationship, WhatsApp messages, WhatsApp text messages, etc. etc. Namudia application. Tiawari dear. But it has to be a genuine and a subsistent relationship.
Boss, loyalty, why?
Lawyer, good evening. With you, there was a partner on church out in my now. With the media no home, yes, Kawaka, my wife never, my wife ne dependent, na Yamencha de Yanyamba Eukrum and she say no, me 3 years visa route. Into me bisa say Akrana so 4 months. Inti say me company renew visa no, na say renew memfa Akranin ka ho ana say mentwen na after settlement no we apply for indefinite leave to remain na you apply and now say you renew yemfa nka and I'm person important bisa lawyer.
Okay, Madam Seminia. Yeah, this is what I say. Say nyame dum nasa eventually ubenya will indefinite leave. Ubetimi register ubano as a British citizen. Because we can renew ubetia application fee. Ubetia would we river chani dear abofran so betia amano. Abofrey onya visa enya dia okwa akoye dwuma di sika abefie. Enya dia bia mudi ne tu kwampo. And why don't you keep that money into something else or save that money? Se kakran nyame adum na samunya mo indefinite. Mo register mo bana under section 1.3 of the British Nationality Act. Now we find a British citizen. Sasikana, there's no point in wasting it, particularly for a baby who is not going to be traveling. You're not going to be traveling with the baby, and of course, the child is not going to bring in any money with their visa. Time now, and then you have to go to renew. So that is my point of view anyway. My train, minyami indefinite, my register me banner as a British citizen straight away.
Hello, I'm about to loyalty.
Yeah, lawyer, Eddie Mitchell in brain. Pacho, me 1 or 2 questions, baby, sir. Maybe many me applicants not be dependent. Na many applicants no we free her oko be almost African. Na me share oba for on in free Ghana only for different country like from African country. I'm looking at 3 years visa. I'm making a 5 years visa. Now me visa there. So for now, only me check a visa now is still active. One cancel it. Since visa, me pack a me switch ko girl no de no do or new lady na me share no. Then visa the mention after 3 years again to renew ni after visa 3 years ni wia na ka ma social kodo ana metuma ni meni miala ana mplem visa office no also be girl neti no also be mete but anya far from e bibiala bom mission almost 1 year another 1 year 1 month na mplem visa aya be advisable the metuma switch akada girl visa the meni mia another mention after 3 years no according to 3 years ni wia sana ma switch akada ne visa do ti visa that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, when I say there's some bit of gray area here. Yeah, your application Emma will be recently or checking the share code HRS over to me still na money share code. Meanwhile, not on your banner Montematiti and or yes share code. And your application man based on the facts that share code no that's so yejuma. Edia ko home office actually say na sit nano. In fact, and your home office phone actually employers go check employer checker service after so was the right to be in the UK and employers home office a reply employer and is say near sit now because you cancel the main applicant students no you cancel the visa but no still no or any share code still no a yimano and that was very deceptive. Now in your situation say so main applicant no akọ back to Ghana na ye name say employer no ama home office for say we fi krom ha ebia oma ma omo hu ebia oma cancel ne de no ba wo de no na omo nya update on system no ebe kire say wo da so asset na wo the application ne ko tumu a no ma ka say wo yire no de no kra ya revoke it down and wo so na wo ni asset na e wo krom ha. There is that possibility, so it is quite dicey. But now the so sa kopem time 5 years beso and 3 years beso no bani ko renew the now the so ana you want to do it now we are say na say almost see omocha obani the no mocha wo the nzo a let's say you have nothing to base on. But if you want to play with the time kakran na we ejuma wo say kakran until set obana ye ne the nzo a, it's a very tactical thing that you have to calculate and look at it very, very well. It's a decision you have to make. Now, Obana upesa odini ubakwa jina onono sono. The question is, code benso na owo. Se ne COS a code a SOC 2026-135, SOC 2026-136, SOC 2010-6145, SOC 2010-6146. If it is in any of these codes, and your own to me and for dependent and to the hoso, unless send or on that code before the rules change on the 11th of March. So a lot of things we need to know before we can give a comprehensive answer. So it's quite tactical. We need to see announce was sitting on the war. Dida, just say you have come to a ditch. And now you can carry on working with it until say 2 years now, so not 3 years now, so up so switching na a company so at least na obo kakra ansana. The share code can be very deceptive sometimes. Generation of the share code can be very, very deceptive. So please take that into account. Okay.
Hello, Bacho Lawyer Tiro.
Pacho, my question is, Lawyer Pacho, good evening. Pacho, my question is, my name wife na kwala ofie. Ya inform because of entity, be so mo fa fie entity am kaka sama ba. And that 5 years route ni so. The say me bisa say I say indefinite na say na form and I say omomra ansa na indefinite na so and I say when indefinite na betim still betim de kwala na ba abedwen.
Okay. Right. So, who 5 years no so health and care any be na.
Obisa question no.
Okay. Health care any be na.
But
let's
say
go.
A health and care any be na.
Okay. Now, say a health and care any be. Na say woni wo yire ene wa ha. Moma e wo Ghana. remember say emofrana end 18 years by the time mobanya mo indefinite then it is better say mobile trying na mwanya mo indefinite emofrana are still under 18 mobile application na emofrana become ho ha yebema indefinite leave to enter yebema indefinite leave to enter say moma mo ba se every time we go renew no it's a mutuama mo so it's a lot of money, so bear that in mind. If any child is going to be more than 18 before you get your indefinite, or no dear, make us some money first, because some trying anya indefinite na sana moya masabu frana one share no akobru 18 or no end member or no dear more money whilst you still have your 5 years, but omwa under 18 by the time mo indefinite no ubetimi ama twen kakra set munya mo indefinite near your application amawom to come to join you here in the UK near amawom indefinite leave to enter omoba enya afi na mokwa ko renew bibia, you end up saving yourself a lot of money no more entity enso kakra will fit senior kana. Thank you.
Okay, boss, loyalty.
DJ, give me 1 minute, please.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll say, hold on about once I hear train lawyer. Oh, share live on SVTV Africa. Many lawyer wisdom, Macau Wiseman solicitors. Now share every Fridays, Biano. Many know what I say from 5:30 to 7. But now be a phone line in I say, I mean, say, you better check a crack. By NCP, so sir, number no screen, so make sure so be saving a number with our phone, so we be saving SVTV Africa. Your WhatsApp number ni obese oba me show no so be share your experience so a obetimi contact me ni amam for din ko amam for share more experience from Ghana omo Ghana how omo tutu kwan country bi a wo bi a obetimi aba so bi you pass it through any difficulties bi so obetimi aba so bi de wa femu de wesua ni nyina me ni obi adin ko star bi a bi nti obetimi aba so bi na yeti o story na yeti de also ye ni de wa femu ni de wesua nti while joining here, they're making sure so be subscribe to your channel SVTV Africa. Send a bell, see a video, so when your notification, the video to swap because we're subscribing into I don't might be all me as so na ebe pop up no attribute amount for experience in there ebe boapa. Yan go back. Hello, lawyer by you.
Hello. Lawyer, good evening.
Good evening, my brother. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. DJ Nyamisha Opa ni akonya with media my any platform Nyamisha Opa. Na lawyer, pato me o UK me buy 2 years muna me koi na me visa na 5 years.
5 years.
Na ni mo me me na obana me buy no so wo Wales na me wo England. So intina me busa say ye kasa all right, but na me busa say sisi a na me mom de me ye adwuma ewo Manchester ho baby na me address na me use no different from ono no de na ono so ewo no intina eno ne ade a me madwene ho sa last week meeting na o say ade a ebitimi de nsusanso aba intina me frɛ busa say de pa na ebitimi aye say if sisi ano obi o ni mutwen nti ye ka se ye abom sisi a menim se betimi aye bi ana se nti saa ye na ye betimi aye a ebeboa ma ensonso bia emba ekiri nti na de wo ho eno no be da se pa DJ ne lawyer na Michelle.
All right, thank you. Menua you for no.
Yes, lawyer.
Omo worry you for no. Omo de omumra na different. And it's oba no Wales. Na papa no London for problem bia anyhow. Ana sa oba no Scotland. Na obema no Liverpool problem bia anyhow. And the EU law is totally different. But so UK mrana ehia se oba no ni obema no should be having or living together. Now, if you're not living together, you have to have an explanation for that. But yes, even if you're not living together, ebia ejumenti na obema na kodi baby for front or ban so kodi baby for. Now, so you must have your matrimonial home. Yes, matrimonial home, HRS, baby, ewo ho a mo friend say eho no eni mo fie. Se papa no holiday a okofie. Our weekend a okofie. And as oba no holiday a obefie. Our days off a obefie. Yentime nka se oba no documents nyina wo bibia wo. Won so de nyina wo bibia wo. Eba ne sa hwe nkyere se there is a common matrimonial home for you. So time no so some going application about how. And then Timeka say yes, who are London, Obano or Liverpool. Yet yes, yeah, a either say London ha and the matrimonial home, and a Liverpool home na matrimonial home. Now say bank account, wait me as a bank account online. At the home, you can operate your bank account from anywhere. Gas, water, electricity. Ma uding enda so anama uyiri ding enda udie so because a hano any matrimonial home. GP, of course, wait me be a GP ho. Say and he has a local GP ho. And if there's a need for an emergency treatment, you go to the A&E. That is also evidence. But the other evidence, please, you have to work on it. Otherwise, in 5 years' time, in 3 years' time, when you are due for your extension or your indefinite, it will be a huge problem for you. It is a problem now for a lot of people. And until I'm able to say, so was that situation one, your wage. So, banning landlord say, man, for be able to and you won't so any landlord and casa, so no peninsula, my banning Nemano and Madaha, not assume Ayejuma. That will be my advice for you.
But your lawyer too, boss.
Okay, lawyer, me dance, and a DJ, so me dance, DJ. Okay, yeah. So me, I'm patrolling me a student. The number of Ghana my age, my industry, me student me MSc, our project management, our university, maybe May May 2025. Now, of course, minimum set for students, now you have 2 years postgraduate work study visa. Of course, I will apply for it. But now, me pursue within that time, in order for me to be able to at least get a firm ground here. But all along, so we go already 10 years visitors visa that I did the passport that and we student visa no so but we were 10 years student visa no so that lawyer, I don't know. They say maybe we may making and I'm a catcher say may apply for in the PSW, which is the post study work permit. How can you help and process being a met me and mania COS so that at least many firm great that's
Yo, thank you. COS, so you have to search and search and search and search and keep searching and search and search until you get one through different routes. And yet only the health and care for Nipe. There are different options. A construction. You can get a construction COS with a company if you want to go into the construction industry. A IT. If you have knowledge into IT, you can get a company that can sponsor you in the IT sector. Of course, NHS, if you want to work with the NHS and you have the knowledge into the health and care sector and they need people in that sector, of course, and also wait me Bupa, BUPA, health, almost to me offer COS if there is a genuine vacancy. And say, during this period now your circumstances do change or your circumstances do change. Of course, they say in America, people's circumstances do change. They get into family relationships, and also you can always switch your visa to that route. So you have options, and thankfully you are now going to start your 2 years. So within that 2 years, you can explore the COS, the sponsorship option, and all the other options. Now, Mijidi said by the time the 2 years comes to an end, you would have been able to secure a route on which you can go comfortably in this case. Genuinely, you remain in the UK without having to overstay with all its accompanying problems. Okay, so COS, explore. Talk to people, go online, search for sponsorship, companies, but don't get yourself into any fraud. So, but you are saying, and Sunday the COS number, please don't get yourself into that, because sometimes and you just end up locking yourself in all kinds of difficult situations. So go online, search for the right ones, and I'm sure keep praying as well. I'm sure something will come up for you. Okay.
Okay. But your loyalty.
But so I'm who say what is skilled work and a buyer. Now we are Juma 3 years. Now me fan say be as a circumstance say be a wabewo. Now went me Juma 2 years. 5 years ni duna wo renew a. Omo ba accept ya na say ombeka say why your Juma just 3 years into no. Omo mfa ma wo.
Ubano, na say Ubano a British citizen and now or again Ubano Bekra.
What I say?
Ubano, was na ube wo krom ha. Ubani papa no, abofrane papa no, a citizen ben na owo.
Okra citizen.
So abofrane papa a citizen, abofrane so be a citizen. And don't take a mere because bia menya the 2 years no enso so for 5 years no ansa na wako for indefinite now. Mere I will quickly switch to me bani diana so on the 5-year route. It is longer, but it is safer than say ubet na we so for 5 years. Ukwakoye application near catch say you haven't worked as a skilled worker for 5 years, and therefore they refuse your application. A fair and sana will sign about starting the 5 years all over again, and in that case 10 years all over again. But if you switch whilst you still have a valid visa as a skilled worker and you meet all the requirements, the relationship, the English language, the maintenance requirement, you can switch to your 5 years route rather than the 10-year route after 5 years from as a parent when you're indefinitely to remain in the UK.
Okay, good evening, loyalty. Good evening.
Pacho, nanka me pese me bisa say in case with the visit by and visit so like what over like visits no like I don't know.
What overstay?
Yeah, what is the next like what can you do about it?
Okay.
It's a visit nowhere. The number one position is that you have to go back to your country. So we visit visa. We go over and over and say we have a Srayan. And now we have a Sra 2 months, 3 months. No, I went to me uncle. Until the default position is that you have to go back to your country. But the one person ubekwa me can earlier said want to mean switch it to work. Want to mean switch it to student. Want to mean switch it to charity. Want to mean switch it to Minister of Religion. Want to mean switch it to any other category. However, the family route in there, don't fall in love, genuinely in love. So if you're in love genuinely, and some warrior, wait me go back to Ghana and why application was saying about. But Sabufra Umwa, and requirements were so ufa ubaniswa, and ubet to me application. And over wabano mano, and any mamiswa, also evidence or opportunity also when you're asset now. But Sanyama we nano a requirement, specified requirements, specific requirements, water, proof of address, that is water, electricity, gas, etc., birth certificate, tenancy agreement, who's supposed to the letter they have to write, their bank statement. Wait a minute, of course, wait me application. This situation, for instance, is best set whoever it's not lawyer and I walk out lawyer no not no amount say number one for webra we benya I mean menya we benya they be meant to menya and this is what you have to do 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 bullet points the application at mama when you are sitting. That is in the case you have overstayed your visit visa. The law is still there.
But your lawyer too.
Good evening, lawyer.
Good evening, sir.
My question is based on friends threshold income.
Okay.
My worry me for at least a council for almost 3 years now. And I don't know the threshold, no, the almost the 29 no, and now
Obane Baha, yeah, Ben Obane Baha.
Hello.
I see almost 2 years. I see almost 2 years.
Hello.
Yeah, lawyer be some questions. So Obane ba year ben. That ben.
No, me buy. Me worry me buy and see I came to stay here for like minimum almost 4 years. My renew my second year friend is my second permit. And to me besides say I'm hearing the rumors about a friend and threshold the 18,000 now for what I was on before. And at 29 now almost past 6 this year. I don't know which one am I going to be on.
You would be on the 18,600.
Yes,
18,600. And no sooner we want here, no sooner we try.
Have you
18,000.
understand my question?
Uti the lawyer answer one TTA. Lawyer answer no. Answer the biome so no one take.
Who old system now say? Who old system now say? Who the any 18,600, not 29,000. You are still under the 18,600 no so. Right.
Okay, Tio, lawyer Tio.
Okay. We can't say me bo akwala wa ha say na many British child and many British citizen in a way. But at the moment, visa me was for that first child. But this year now I have another child. Me baby renew me visa. Meeting me the new child who is also a British citizen. A renew yana.
Okay. And the same mother now.
But would they be a different mother?
Hey, as a way wild pound. Okay, that's fine.
Okay,
all right. So, yes, we application. I won't be say who am friend now. Obeka say yes. So who say yes, and yeah, who the friend details beka. Or maybe say friend on new net. Obeka said no. On any net into the name details and ever. And sometimes a banisa I won't be say could letter if it's friend ni GP and ne school. In this case, me just saw a baby from the GP. So I just say you are still involved in that child's life and in this one's life. And yes, the form is there. So what the two so yes, sir. And yeah, what in the details but so and you on the winete or any maminete, what in the details but now I put a letter from our friend mammy and of course from the school, the GP, now the account, now I application. You will get your stay. DJ.
Lawyer, me implique some of the course in the banner boobs. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Me bacho lawyer Tio.
Me pacho, me question this. Me me ba training as
Me bacho lower TV no volume no low TV no volume. Never my feedback. Low no crowd upa crowd na mute no. And so now I can say a bit delay. Never my feedback.
Okay. Pacho me double. Me background as dependent. Me main applicant a discovery visa nearby, but no. Unfortunately, Oko Ghana, or say I hired the money to go back to Ghana, but it's a divorce. But my question will be on also the ɔno nso wɔ skill visa so yɛbɛtumi aware anaa.
Okay.
Yes, our real the Obian to make control semen wario. I know they are your human rights. Obian to make control semen worry. But the question is, who worry we are? Ubenya sitting now. That is the main question.
Yeah,
Okay?
that's the question.
Yes. So yes, Ubetimia worry, that is given. The next one is that near Upasa within the warren or skilled worker visa so. Sir, me bought codes be so SOC 6135, SOC 2020 6136, SOC 2010 6145, 6146. Sir, our SAR codes no so did dawa, any a possible, sir, ubetime, I yet dependent. But, sir, on your code no, after Emrani Society on the 11th of March 2024, and they want to make any dependent. So please find out from her when she got on that code, when she became a skilled worker, and what the code is. The code number who the job description and no a 4-digit number 6135 6136 6145 6146. If it is one of those, then you need to find out when she got into that sector. If it is before 11th of March, you are okay. You can be a dependent. If it is after, then you cannot become a dependent. Any other coder, you should be fine. So just bear that in mind. Yes?
But your lawyer to you.
Yo, lawyer, Patrol, we me did the first question by about two different matters. No, we can't say girl no at the minute. No, meaning
Yeah. Line to go. Hello. DJ.
Lawyer, what's the kind? I want to question no.
Auntie to question the cry.
Sorry, come back be why. I think there's some small problem. You come back. Be a question be.
yeah, lawyer,
Yes, PTA.
lawyer, what you mean, car?
It's you, pal. It's you.
Okay, yo, let me be say at the minute, no, means me any letters from the GP because late, meaning any contact there, but me child maintenance, I mean, on spot, I've never even missed before. Bisa say, and also, what are my chances? Can I still make the application and get my, my renewal renewed for me?
Okay. The first child, who want the details? Who want the baby idea? First child now will base your application. First child now will base the application. Who want is no? Who want the details? Ni baby.
Me on details, BBR. Me on details, BBR.
Okay. Now, I want to advise that you should make life a little easier for yourself. If you can make life a little easy for yourself, of course, second GP, the second child, no, ne GP, one cohort and tinya the umbrella relative at the amount. So, you're possible so much me alcohol to register and let them know, sir, when you have afraid papa on the record, sir. That will be very helpful. But and yes, answer. And yeah, I'm friend of mine, on letter. So, yes, of course, we have a child together. My child is a British citizen. The child lives with me. The father is responsible. Of course, he's involved in the child's life. Even though he's not registered at the GP, the same GP, he's still involved in the child's life. The Home Office, because you are not taking the second child to GP, they'll refuse your application, even though you are taking the first child to GP or you're involved in the child's life. So it's either way, you can provide those documents and the supporting evidence. I believe, sir, your application should be successful because you have at least one child that is a British citizen. Or no sooner or no sooner your application and you should be able to proceed with the application. Okay.
Me watch your lawyer too.
Okay, me prefer we visa lawyer fair. Recently, no, our British, indefinite. Nah, say no, the farmer say, the offer kwabis na oba ya. Won't mean ya British citizenship. As on church, you won't say any more.
Okay, I see.
One year from beginning.
Lawyer, who there's a video near we are. Play biom the lawyer moon play video ni biom. As I be block others chances near the wa church mu the video no so enyira o at the page no so nti. Obetimi ahwebe we dey be sre. Na the wa explaining nyinya so aba be explain biom time. Yen so yen che be pon. Nti o wi a o dey hwe video no biom ka bibia. And a lawyer person explaining.
My boss 1 2 man. Number 1, I will say, I will amend the good character requirements. Ubaha as an illegal immigrant, who for boat, who for train, who for France, who for Holland, who the coach, who the truck, who been a do buy ever work room ha, who the entry, who no indefinite employer. I must say, from the 10th of February, we application for British citizenship on refusal. Omo application at two down, almost on review, actually said, Kwan ufa so ba ye no, enye papenti, yemfa sa emrana enwi wana, yemfa nwe, eno ye number 1. Number 2, omo ba ye with small boat. Again, illegal entrance. Wono, onya indefinite. Omo define it as a dangerous journey. Omo ba ye stowaway, dangerous journey. Who the ship and the buyer, dangerous journey. What question ship now say and about a dangerous journey. And now for train from one country to another, and what for desert no so a dangerous journey. Who no, yeah, ma indefinite. Yeah, ma citizenship. Ubanya indefinite no maybe, but ubetina and also sa. And no name rana amudi abba. Maka wasam and to your ponga. Go back to the video, play it from the beginning, and you get all that information. Thank you.
Me ba cho lawyer tell why.
Hello.
Yes, you.
My name is Nabai. Or yes, student, my name is dependent. Na yenya use school yenya 2 years no na say onyem. E kwa ma so na so we be nya setna. Hello lawyer.
Yes, yeah, sir. Some of these questions they are difficult to answer within a minute or two. Questions if you honor, it's a surgery. Now about 10 minutes a year surgery on a very major medical condition and a serious medical problem. 10 minutes over won't mean your proper surgery. And in a situation like this, I work more 2 years no so as the graduate route no so we really enyim. A possible sasa abufra mo abufra na ono so benya ne amwanya ne bi ana mo woni bi 2 years and I would by then kanaka 1 year, 1 year. And what are you going to do? If possible, set unya sponsorship, shift to that sponsorship. Again, IT, Minister of Religion, hospitality, hotels, chefs, and almost sponsorship license, so accounting firms, construction. You can switch to any of these sectors. Genuine work. Uber shifting with your family to that category. So that is what I can say for now, because it needs a lot of dissection here and there. And of course, your details no better screen also. Who friend now banswa, you better me ama further advice as to what could be done or should be done.
Hello?
Yeah, hello DJ.
Lawyer too.
Yeah, lawyer. Pacho, me say, me war, I sit now, I say. woman definite and me de me by with a skilled worker. And I say well, but my year me bano passport amano. Inti na me pese a possible say me year never kwakoda me bana so and I say I have to get married to her.
Okay.
I say or the school or the bias a dependent one.
Yeah.
Hello. And now Nirina but I didn't get the whole I didn't get there was a break somewhere into Mr. Ross. So let me repeat it, I will be very grateful.
On say quick no obeti me afraid you ma I think say kofono na man I'm say me na man kasa jami na man jami. Hello. Hello. On say I deal with American moon low TV no because I say be delay on say internet no.
Hello.
Low TV no the TV no crop adum.
Hello.
Low TV no low volume no.
Now
Use your phone no.
If I you.
Lawyer too.
If I lawyer.
Hello. Yes. Evening, as saying.
If I me back room I'm the visit na buy na may na ukra. Na I me say be at say be all we are able to say cancer and diabetes obetimi ade agina so anya aseta ukroma wada room na mbese bisa.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. Diabetes, there, no, it's a no. Hamakaso say you can manage your diabetes wherever you are in the world. Ghana has got a good health system. Omako, the country of origin information. So Nomako Tiamo say Ghana has a good health sector, and you can manage your diabetes. Cancer, it depends on how serious it is. And also, what will happen is that your friend medical records and a detailed medical report from the consultant, not GP, but the consultant. And the consultant actually said, you may be saying, what is the diagnosis? What's the prognosis? How long are you going to be on that medication for? And how long do they anticipate that you will get better? Are you going to be better off being in the UK? Or would there be treatment for you if you go out of the UK to your country? Would you be able to afford the medical treatment? These are questions that we ask, and then the consultant will say, yes, this is the diagnosis, you are suffering from XYZ. Prognosis, this is the treatment you are getting. This is how long the treatment is going to go on for. If you come off this treatment, you are going to lose your life. If you go to Ghana, you don't have the same treatment as you have in the UK, etc., etc. So consultants in my report now, and no, and I bet me to say. Paragraph 1 of the consultant's letter says this. That. Then we are based on it. Paragraph 2 says this. Then we base on paragraph 4 says that. Paragraph 7 says this. And no, and a bit determine whether your case has some merit or some strength at all. But the GP, the consultant need to say, oh, he's having this cancer at the early stages. It's been detected. It's going to be treated in 6 months' time. It's going to be okay. In that case, Home Office Bakacho said, you'll be okay in 6 months' time. You can go back to your country. So the content of the consultant's report and the sort of application and the strength of the application. So yes, medical report can be, or medical condition can be a basis for an application, but the content near consultant in Kaiba Kumuno. I don't know if the application will have any chance of succeeding or not.
Mbacho, lawyer Tio.
Lawyer, good evening, Mbacho. Wadarma, the question is in two folds. Wadarma, Didi Kaino, me buy, me the skill work and me buy, but me buy in the first year, but you might be on me buy and you might be mamma, na. Like I knew that I was in an also a city or COS in the sono. Antino, many of me antina a year my payslip on the mamma no. Na like a new threshold nuntino. into tax and and unfortunately for me in the course no me know me you almost be even say 1 year and I'm switch and I'm switch and I'm call new employer but on the end say everything is on course just I was now on the mama no contract no me no more na the person bisa say in case it do ho no ma na say me call indefinite na saa me 1 year na be count here ka ho ana say me starting afresh because of say na me drew sa threshold no because na honum no na me tax call me yeah equal me equal from HRMC but me ba han dey and am say me yeah you me tria tax no all right into no and no e buy and here my first question na ye to so me no so no na pese ka we kasa bibia fa cohabitation no kakra ma ya kwan be na e fa so a be hunu say because you say me ready kakra na say also unya bibi oni o partner no munya bibi evidence bi e kire say you are partners. Other man, so wait my chicken that's a baby.
Yeah, but I'll say, Papa. Now, so threshold, no, for the first year, we say you weren't paying tax because not one do the required level of income threshold or pay with your tax, which is rather unfortunate. To say when you're another company and you are paying the right amount of taxes, etc., etc. Now, what happens is usually, say, your application, a home office, ebisa for documentations. Sometimes almost for 6 months pay slips, 6 months bank statement, letter from the employer na HRS na wetina krom ha a oye juma e krom ha. Se 5 years ni so far 5 years ni yanso ya na obi akoya application ye who exactly what they are going to be asking for. So 5 years ni so now will be for 6 months pay slip, 6 months bank statement and a letter from your employer. And that's the ultimate demand that should be sufficient because the first 1 year no and the but the last 6 months now you should have that. It is also possible, sir, the Home Office can go back to the HMRC to find out whether you paid the taxes or you complied with the rules in the first year. If that happens, so what evidence, will pay slip, everything that should prove it, I would say you should use that to support the application. It wasn't your fault not to have been paid that level of income. And it wasn't your fault not to have been paid your taxes or not to have paid taxes. It was the employer's duty to have paid those taxes. So, my answer is wait. Keep doing the right things now up to the 5th year is up. So, your application, I believe documents number Bisano will not go as far back as 5 years. If it does, then you have a bit of problem. They may extend it for you 1 more year. Now, if you have 5 years with the new company, then you can go for your indefinite leave to remain. The second question, Ubisa, had to do with yes, cohabitation. If you go to GEN 1.2 of the immigration rules, GEN 1.2, that's the definition. Who is a partner? A partner, obi a waware no, into more marriage certificate. And now obi a one no, a friend is saying a fiancé or a fiance. One no, there's a relationship going on. But the Home Office wants to see 2 years of cohabitation. 2 years of cohabitation. Gas, water, electricity, TV license, bank statement, insurance documents, letter from the landlord, letter from government institution, HMRC letters, self-assessment letters, letters from GP. All this will prove 2 years so when they are in the same address or mutina one address and you move to another address. It has to span over 2 years. A possible set you don't have enough documents to prove the 2 years. But say, well, landlord, bet to me, the letter, the account with ABN ID and our supporting documents. That goes a very long way to help your application in the case of proving 2 years cohabitation. I had a similar situation recently. Now, majority of their bills were inclusive. If you're not mutemono, na bibia all inclusive. And tonight in Kansas, some mutia 650, but landlord in the bibia county omutia £780, which means the rent, the council tax, the gas, water, electricity, nina abeka rent no, and they don't have separate utility bills. They have their bank accounts, etc. That is for their personal thing. And a landlord no throw a letter. Say, yes, we are the landlords, we are the rental agents, and we can confirm that Mr. A and Mrs. B have lived in this address for the past 2 years. And all the utilities are inclusive in the rent. So they don't have separate bills. And all the necessary documentations at the count. Yeah, there was no question. Yeah, the man. So this is how, or one way to prove cohabitation. Very important if you're not married. Thank you.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, DJ.
Lawyer Tio.
Lawyer. Pacho, good evening. When the
Good evening.
Anna, no UK. The first question is Metisana Okabi says, me fans who are Kolano Wahase, whilst you are on work visa and as a student, you don't need to register a Kolano on any of your visas. But information can come in say, me bano Wahase no. After 3 months, Oko Hospital, some medications, no, almost say after 3 months, because he's not on NHS, no, you have to pay it as a private person. Into how number so chiemu kakramami. Because in fact two quite, but the issue is between the period that me indefinite now, may or no British with a man no. Some of the illnesses are Oko Hospital, can say NHS no. Second one, me by school has say me school no me graduate visa and I mean it was a support setting it was health and care DNB. But me ankasa me a HR consultant. It's a question me bisani says me stay on me health and care visa for roughly there 2 years. And after 2 years, na me nya ejuma in my HR ship na. Semi year 3 years now. Can I combine sa two no to make the 5 years now? Now say I have to be strictly on the health and care visa for 5 years before I can get it, because honestly one other kakra women say once the health and care visa because the health and care untia health surcharge. My question is, so must stay and also for 2 years. Now me in HR. Now me move it to HR. This time, am I supposed to pay my health surcharge for the 3 years now? Nah, because I did not pay the first 5 years because I was on health and care visa and I'm on with my dependents. It's now me move pure skilled no. I mean, I'm dependent, they will still have to be on the dependent. But the question is that do I pay the health surcharge now for them and myself for the last 3 years now? Can I now say me
Okay.
Okay, good question. Very good questions. Now, sir, one movie to make somewhere during the program say every application is assessed based on its own merits and the documentations. Every application is assessed on its own merits and documentations. Now, one movie from HR, from the health and care so I call the HR as well. If they have to, or you have to pay the health and care for the HR, you have to pay for them, you have to pay for yourself. There is no leeway there. You have to pay for them, you have to pay for yourself under the HR. If you have to pay with a sponsorship, you have to pay that. And so that is what it is. And the other question is, why you were 2 years as a health and care worker on the tier 2, and again 3 years as an HR, again on tier 2. Can he combine the two? My answer on the first point will be yes, you can. But I will need to go back and double check to make sure you don't have to be on the same health and care throughout 5 years. As long as it's the same tier 2 for 5 years, you should be able to go on for your indefinite leave to remain. But of course, give me a shout on 079 31 411 042. 079 31 411 042. I will go back to the law with you we clarify everything and see exactly where we stand as to whether you can add tier 2 in health and care, tier 2 in HR, 5 years in total, you get your indefinite or not, but I think you can. The other question was, yes.
Now we are, you better pick 2 course now, they are very a course no dorsum. You can say me fat, you better 12 nyani we.
Next week, we'll see what
Next week, you better pick it, but the problems me say dorsum. It's pick last 2, but could you so now for last 20, who the answer we.
All right, and Osan besides says Abofano wa yari bi na se you need to use the NHS and it has to be paid. That is an exceptional circumstance. Se ombe bisa se Abofano near sits na is going to trigger payment. Then my advice would be say you can apply for the child. You spend some money, but apply for the child. Obi bet me say how can I anticipate or foresee Sabufaniba Yari and on Yari? Well, if you begin to see the signs, said there's something like that going to happen, of course, we pray not, then of course you can easily or quickly apply for the child anytime during the process. But the child is in good health, maybe in a year or two, indefinite. My question is, why spend that money? But of course, again, every case and the circumstances that surround it, and you have to make that assessment and make that good judgment in your situation. I would say, if everything is okay, there is no need to waste that money. But if you think health issues are concerned, then of course, if they're going to ask for payment and stuff like that, then of course you can apply for the child. The child will get what you also have, so that they don't ask you for NHS payment because you don't have the right, the child doesn't have the right to be in the UK. Okay, thank you very, very much. But these are very intelligent, very brilliant questions. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, for last but what if lawyer Tio.
Hello, DJ with the damage shop that's set my pick me. Lawyer damage shop that was say. DJ with the question we said to say. The baby master's degree. Oh, UK. And me really now and I'm in sponsorship. And me de so I juba. Me person be lawyer say the sponsorship no cover for only 3 years. Into 1 year na me ba university no me patch a bit me account towards the sponsorship no ho na. And then my first question. The second question is say me 3 years me now my sponsorship no so no. Eba be roughly by July. But my employers, so I'm some kind of green light is on beside renew amame. And no, I remember movie free. The old sponsorship, no, so new sponsorship. I'm starting for an answer, be continuous. And then my second question.
Okay, second question.
The last one. Okay. That's it.
I'm saying, Obi beside me man the question answers to say and say I need to work on this, I need to check this. Say tier 2 no so in one employment and a tier 2 in a second employment, as long as all the requirements are met in both places, I strongly believe you can go for your indefinite leave to remain in the UK. I'll check that. The next one, and the other one is the tier 2 only starts from tier 2. They don't add your student years to the tier 2. The requirement is 5 years on the skilled worker route. So 5 years on the skilled worker route. When did you get on the skilled worker route? That is when the 5 years will start counting from. Let's all do some homework. Go to appendix skilled worker. And when you get to appendix skilled worker, go down to settlement as a skilled worker or dependent of a skilled worker. Anybody can go there. Go to Google and enter appendix skilled worker. Read it. If there's something you don't understand, you can call me. We would explain it. Appendix skilled worker. Go down to the bottom part. It gives you settlement as a skilled worker. Take your time, read through it. You look at the residential requirement and additional requirements. I would look into that again next week. Mejidi said a lot of people have concerns in that area. Next week, Nyame Aduma, I will explain it a bit as to the residential requirement for indefinite leave as skilled workers, whether you can add from one employer to another employer to get the 5 years before you get to indefinite. We'll explore all those options. Most likely, that will be my update next week before we progress. DJ.
Okay. So last caller, lawyer, not just be signing out. Me who's a course on the dorsal, mentimi amfawa. Lawyer, next week we course be man.
Yeah, of course, no problem. Yeah, we update kakrane of course.
Because course no miss course I mean or dorsal do or dorsal. So last caller, it's you, lawyer, you.
Lawyer, good evening.
Evening.
Yeah, me pacho, my wife for UK minimum, and me wa baba for Ghana, but I the ba. To me, besides the requirement, Ben, you bet me the befano, and I mean we Ghana at the moment.
Okay. Mr. Menko, please hold on whilst you have to ask that question again. Obi beside just now, with regards to the qualifying period for settlement as a skilled worker. I said I was going to do it next week, but I've just got some information. Qualifying period requirement for settlement as a skilled worker. SW 21.1. SW 21.1, the applicant must have spent a continuous period of 5 years in the UK. SW 21.2, the 5-year continuous period must consist of time with permission on any of or any combination of the following: skilled worker route or global talent or innovator founder or Tier 2 Minister of Religion or international sportsperson or representative on overseas business or as a Tier 1 migrant other than a Tier 1 graduate entrepreneur, migrant or scaled up or permission on any other route during the time the applicant was waiting for a decision on their application as a skilled worker, provided that application was for permission to stay and was made between 24th January 2020 and 30th of June 2021 inclusive, and was supported on the date of application by a certificate of sponsorship assigned by a licensed sponsor and was granted. It's a mouthful. So these are the requirements, and these are the ones you can combine. Usha, as a skilled worker, into a skilled worker, so 1 year, and another skilled worker, so 4 years. 2 companies, 2 different sponsors, you can get your indefinite. Who was skilled worker, so 3 years, and then you went to innovator founder, 2 years. You can combine the 3 years and 2 years, you get 5 years, you get your indefinite. Who was skilled worker, so 4 years. No international sports person, so 1 year. You add the 4 years to the 1 year, total of 5 years, you get your indefinite. You are on a skilled worker for 2 years and you became a Tier 1 migrant. And of course, scale up worker. You can add the 2, total of 5 years, you get your indefinite. You're on a skilled worker route and you can go, of course, to permission on any route during that time period and you were waiting for a decision. And on your skilled worker application was for a permission to stay. And listen to this, a permission to stay. You've made an application for permission to stay, and it was made between 24th January 2020 and 30th of June 2021, and was supported on the date of application by certificate of sponsorship. If you can combine this, then of course you will be able to combine the years. Obi beside about student, bueno, I see permission to stay, but it was not made between 24th of January 2020 and 30th of June 2021. We are not talking about 2024 and beyond. In that case, you may not be able to add the student years to the skilled worker years to equate to 5 years before you get your indefinite leave to remain. So generally, these are the routes you can combine to get your leave to be, your indefinite leave to be. But next week, I'll take time and go through it again to make it clearer. Thank you. DJ.
Caller no also. Hello. Yes, you. Last
Hello,
caller.
DJ.
Yes, Miriam, here it's you.
Maybe some lawyer say my wife for UK minimum, but maybe we Ghana and I may walk back when you my wife need there. Into requirement bank and I bet me for the number.
Okay.
HM Armed Forces, Appendix HM Armed Forces. What warrior or no army no more? It is possible for you to join your wife here in the UK. Of course, if we go to the Appendix HM Armed Forces, ever mind the requirements. Of course, marriage certificate, proof of a genuine relationship. She is in the army. She can take a letter from the divisional head office or the overseas spouses department. I don't know what they call them, but with me this evidence in the account. There's a financial requirement she has to meet. She has to be earning a certain amount of money. This is not 29,000. I think this is a little less than 29,000 pounds. She has to provide 6 months pay slip, 6 months bank statement, letter from the employers. Now we can use that to make the application for you. But go to Appendix Armed Forces, HMR Forces. Go there, read it. Spouses, entry clearance as a spouse to come to the UK. You get all the information there. If you have any questions, you can call back and I would explain that to you. Thank you.
Okay, Lawyer Wisdom Akao on that note, but that's it. Say Lawyer Wisdom Akao every time, every Fridays be a minute no say 5:30 to 7. By now I extend the course in it. Me say course no do so my enti am fa mo course ni nyina so mo fa nche. Line ankasa no. The line it days. Krobo make just a day, line or a day. Wabu line na bu. The call my way is tire. So Lawyer Wisdom Akao, the number is the good screen. So I will share CC no. Obetimi follow up, obetimi contact wise man solicitors, office number, ne mobile number, and I will show screen. So no, na still and the mutimi ba say omo per lawyer the number. And na minim say no man that screen so no lawyer. Amun jindi say o number na. And lawyer bobo number no. Na some ube bisa me a flyer na me be flyer no so na any number. Number na so na that screen so no. And lawyer, me da say office location Dawson Johnson, McDonald's, then. Get here, London.
We don't say. Obi beside Papa na or besides say a partner of an HM Armed Forces. Okay, I'll look at that next week as well. I'll go through the requirements for you as a partner of an of a soldier, military person in the UK. God willing, next week. Let me make this note so that I don't forget. I will go through the combination of the rules of tier 2 routes and then Appendix HM Armed Forces. I'll look at that next week, God willing. God willing, if God gives us life. Now yet me by why smart solicitors. My name is Wisdom Akaho. Wisdom Amadome Akaho. Why smart solicitors. Telephone numbers 0208 0165 384 0208 0165 384. Mobile number 079 31411 042 079 31411 042. Wiseman Solicitors number 8 to 9 The Print House, 18 to 22 Ashwin Street, Dalston, London, E8 3DL. Dalston, London, E8 3DL. Yeah, bang Dalston Market now. Yeah, bang behind the Dalston Market, although somewhere along the main road, yeah, what McDonald's. Behind the McDonald's, no, we are on the Ashwin Street. Directly behind the McDonald's, you are Ashwin Street. And our door number is 8 to 9, but the building is 18 to 22 Ashwin Street. And when you enter the reception, you tell them you're coming to Wiseman Solicitors. They direct you to number 8 to 9 in the building. That is where we are. We come to educate, to learn, to teach, to, of course, learn ourselves and to get to know what is going on. And it is not going to get any easier. DJ, every country is tightening their borders, making things difficult. Come the right way. Wasum bejo. And yes, sir, uba not you overstay, it becomes very difficult. things are being tightened up. With the small boat air bay, take and MRI air sisa. Asylum seekers, they say there, almost say they may never get British citizenship. Your mom indefinite in poor, Ubadaso sa till thy dying day, you may never get British citizenship. And to your per se a bar, who bars a student at bra, but more than we are school no, we are school now. At least we were 2 years. 2 years now. During that time, now they are sure how far. Now, of course, near my Mrs. Now, would you have so? Now, they are not from her. No one more so. And the Nadia, Akwenami, Okata, Egbeha, Amiga Uno. The questions that only are next week. Yafuka, name ya DJ. Maune Jomo, okay, Mono, pay for.
Rachel outer. Asamba kwa me can say when it comes to solicitors and lawyers, omo attending to cases bebre. Minka wa hase otia. Enye first time I make us idea onu kwa wakada. Nti wono uko friend na uko WhatsApp na fina upesa unya na attention. Oni we obi tineni mo attending to. Ususu pesa o attending to you. Adding. Nti we mo no sana unya na wahana wa ride na ebise bisa the question no o prefer more say onye bibi ma wa this o book appointment lawyers nya sa na omo dwuma omo ye no ba o person onya no microphone bi o person onya no phone so na fe na o be bisa na okay this and this no I don't even kind of cry no bebre no munya time ma it me won say obi cry to say lawyer I've tried to reach you several times near there I feel lawyer and I must send voice note tintin won I'm going to try and response. Yeah, so.
We move for check. I move for office line. Move for office line now. No more booking appointment. Now it's me akasa. But DJ send your work no. A bit where I am saying free information. We give information. Now so say beer asam kan or fear. Or no a application. Now a friend. Lawyer ma do paragraph so and so. Me information. Na me ntro ho. Na din kakra because telephone nso no nyama nyina na obetumi aka. Ebi wo ho a face to face. Near more information. Enwumre obi ba me ho. He came all the way from outside London or by. Many explain bibia channel so lawyer. Afi na matia se ni entia. SSM back because near money beno ye count phones were because of confidentiality and ye and yes remo and yen nana say who you form but do paragraph 11 here beside me say again I mean tro and yen nana you bet to me my information now ya book appointment I me can all the time you don't have to come to me if you have your lawyer see them. Speak to them. Ask them questions. They will help you out. I come to give the information. Follow up with your lawyers. And Mejidi said they will have the time for you to answer your questions. But it is, to understand, sacrificial job na yeye. Call the office line, book appointment. Thank you. Thank you for your understanding, DJ.
Lawyer, medase nyame aduma next week Friday. Yebeba. Lawyer Wisdom aka hope medanase wise man solicitors. Medam asese mo share at least na menim se bebre na mentimi ampeke course no. Mo fanche nyame aduma next week no mabantem. Na oba so na obe bisa na question ati anya say be pile questions bebre afno be answer obi so twan to ba why ni nyina one na yeko I had a swear the magazine say channel was so DHR but on for bebre follow me lawyer from 3 years ni omankasa omay omo visa from Gulf countries in different Ghana omangasa omay oma de agi visa so show me programs far obi say obi wan visa bia I don't want make people travel or mentor. No, me try kwan. I mean, person be me te wa adwena o one kasa application na bibi obetimi sua ye. Me person onya research. So who show me pass and person me oh yeah research and ya dey be na I am a take sometime in the book as na and I'm in agent even my cost 16,000 mas it was idea where you can do it. So who show me lawyer part to data. Now why ready pa obi anti me fembu. You go fit know everything. So me chero me be we ni wonya me bi. Obi na me confess ka we na dia obetimi ankasa obetimi aye. Bibia wo ho utia guidelines ni ade wo hwe YouTube hwe bibi check wan kasa wa ye wa de. Obi ba ko tia 10,000 pounds. 20,000, 16,000. Oh. Sometimes I hard dream, but what can I say? Maybe I try my best. More soon. Some information we you need. Anka konkonu ase na edi obi na enya asewo be kɔ na say I wote here maami we also for wari we dan wari egu. Enti den na menye free. On na wari on ni kru jai. Enti den news. Gana for ubati say we ko obi ni we ko da bi wa ha na obi afa camera no chechre mu. You no go learn anything. You are wasting your time away. Nti enebe me den obi akɔbɔ obi ekum jeke a news. Oh, my people, something like this ebe no one chire no nim we sem so be tie be man lead no so tu anamon bi en click no sem hunu nko a dede almost media no be braid everybody is talking educative thing they no like but omo aso ebe tie. Anyway, madam, I say, some share SVTV Africa FM DJ Nyame, madam production team, I say subscribe to your channel. Your videos were your channel also. Amount for story, amount for experience. So, me basubi. I mean, so one kwachiri will be be share. They also work who just others to also learn. No, obet me abaso. Media, I'm open. You be a vibe. Style be a be. Madam, I say. Mon share me even cry me obi na ko interview. Let me say much just you dey obi na the things where we talk no. Yeah do but we no give up. Kakra be fa no fa. Some say yeah mpa dey adibia ebe I say ebe mo lead. Yeah me kasa be mo lead. Me obi kasa no waka bibi. Saturday no kind no and argue or more lead you to follow up and do search and some lawyer kind no go phone or Google will once obi no more appendix then follow up and use to search now read the kakra so don't mean read the poor mo been reading on chair say you be clear obi say won say until obi ntimi fembu and when I make research a problem. It is a try say also be free side no was try say oh sua bibi. Just have idea. And I don't know. Madam I say the more videos beba so join here follow in there make sure so be subscribe to your channel. Ya na make say mente na na me no be KBB no care about your channel no. And I'm a chair na dey bi wa e back. So meet me at wa. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we na or kabibi say, and then maybe a back and maybe can't say me. Oh, share or more share channel no we business nyame programs out there be. Nanka by now nanka so to me do be 1 million subscribers and I'm say share. Obi share pa so be subscribe pa don ye. And I'm share na dey bi. I share okay me share that be a back and I'm share. Okay, so mo be hu dia. Or say watch time for subscribers not subscribe yet 50.8%. Ban was a movie hundia and or say no or say subscribe subscribe to channel near 49.2%. Subscribe here on channel 50.8%. You get a calculation. Almost show channel no more subscribing here 49.2%. One day I send me screenshot it to on my tap subscribe. Just we follow channel no we follow for your channel numbers in course yes, who followers no. Omo ma subscribe omo share channel no. 49 omo share SVTV Africa 49.2%. The same omo measure videos no mo subscribe in here 50.8%. I'll screenshot tomorrow or there may program na me dey atoso. So you get a question? Obi be share so be follow keke no. If you say, oh, I support you, Mami. Those who want to support will support. Those who want to share your videos will share. Those who want to learn will learn. Those who like you will like you. Those who don't like you will be there. Medium, yeah, my family. All the best, madam, guys. More comments by you know, me who say be brain and me and kind. But I hope say do na small free. Na me ado next week. Na pick a course in biaka home. Big shout out to Munina mo joining and from Master Richard. Shout out to you, Selena Buesiakon. Me da say Sweet Bad, me da say Emilia Opon, Salome Kwe, me da say so mo joining here. Basaho, me da say mama, me da say Bridget Berryman, US. Thank you so much. Menla NDA Daniel. Is it Inda? Princess Patty. Thank you so much, Richard Brief. Thank you so much, Richard Sego. MO. Thank you so much. Godfrey Osebunsu. Apreku. Thank you so much. Yao. Thank you so much. Kofi Entry. Medase Rastery. Thank you so much for joining today. I'm joining a channel in your Yao. Tallest. Wow. Can I give all the shout outs? Is it Chidiago Okoyi? Thank you so much. Prince, thank you so much. Also, guys, let's do better. Paul, this thing I never talked before, but it be like today I for talk. Almost share, almost subscribe here, and 50% unsubscribe. And I say, almost subscribe here, and almost subscribe here, and I bet me do 1 million. And I bet me do 600, I bet me do 600 and 700K subscribers. Because so almost subscribe here, and almost subscribe, you know. You will be train and something now. And almost subscribe, almost tap subscribe, so you 50 something percent. Like by now we go like 1 million. Oh, Sam Koba, thank you so much. Bridget Ousu, thank you so much for joining. Baby Cobra, thank you so much. You say you are late. Next time, come early. Master Richard say, DJ, you are 1 in a million. Thank you. Guys, madam, I say the new video be drop it in your soon. Now, I continue more videos. Into uni mobisu a opeso share. Obisu ha na ebiane inti aye ye deporting na bagana opeso be share the story. Meet me a friend no ebiane video so audio so na inti the buy any experience ni ade. Maybe a mistake be or yeah, no so share na ya so or a bit me share be frame. So I'm more UK, maybe I do be a befie unim no and answer we are. Bet me number show no be my friend audio ni ending komo. Maybe obu or be person in me babu also on person in me baba. Maybe me no be adding komo on the this the oba fee na bibisa na met me no ending komo. Okay, guys. Menti me ambo dia listening doors or doors to do. Madam say, some share SBTV Africa. Charlie, we go link up.
Charlie, make we chop small. Delight Cocoa.
Delight Cocoa, the authentic, original taste of African porridge. Available in all African and Caribbean shops. Delight Cocoa.
Charlie, make we chop small. Delight Cocoa.
Delight Cocoa, the authentic, original taste of African porridge. Available in all African and Caribbean shops. Delight Cocoa. Ede.
Young penny for who baby say, if you are seeing her, who be ma, who be chair. Why not HL? So we pay IT, who they won ye, so we pay support. Slam Technology say your number one partner. Your office will US in ye, your office will Ghana, so ye, your numbers ni kuhono. So we should share IT classes, we have career coaching, we have support for business, cyber security, free na your partner. Your back here, wow. Slam Technologies, transformation with excellence. Free.
This Airbnb in Dansoman Estates, Accra, is only $40 a day and offers all the amenities for a comfortable stay. It is also conveniently located 30 minutes away from the airport. We also have 1 and 2 bedroom apartments for long-term rental at English Heat, Amamprum, 15 minutes to the Wadi Togo and the West Hills Mall going for 1,500 and 1,000 Ghana cedis only. Call Parry Group on 053-866-3532, 053-866-3532. This is Parry Group of Companies.